So I'm sure most of you have heard the common phrase, good things come to those who wait. Well, I actually had a chance to experience this firsthand on our fishing trip in Cabo last Thanksgiving, and I tell you, I learned more than I ever anticipated. So we headed out on a cool Cabo day and started our marlin fishing trip, and I was actually the first one to catch the fish on this boat, or so I thought I would be. And it didn't exactly turn out that way. I had never expected to have to work this hard for a fish, and let's just say I started out with little to no patience. So we hook up the first marlin and I'm ready for it. I'm just kind of sitting there, casually reeling in, and all of a sudden I realize that there's so much slack in the line, and I'm trying to figure out what's happening, and my dad yells at me, "Emily, he's running towards the boat, reel!" So I start reeling frantically, but before I could even catch up, the fish jumps up out of the water, thrashes his head, and the hook flings out of his mouth. I've lost this fish. So I totally missed my opportunity to catch a marlin. But after all the members of my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, and my uncle got to catch their marlins, I finally got another chance to redeem myself and finally catch this fish. But little did I know, the second attempt would fail just as miserably as the first. So we moved on to the third attempt. And my dad said, "Emily, this time you have got to be patient. This is your third try. 3 strikes and you're out. This is the last chance you get to catch this fish." So I thought, okay, I've got to do it this time. I was focused. I was ready to go. We hooked up another marlin and I was ready. He flew up out of the water just as I expected he would, but he didn't throw the hook. The hook stayed in his mouth. I was so thankful. But then, little did I know, he would sprint away from the boat. So he's taking out all this line, and I just basically have to sit there and let him take out this line, because you can't even attempt to reel because it won't help. You wouldn't gain any line at all. So I was waiting there for probably 10 minutes, 10 long minutes, just watching this marlin drag out yards and yards of line, and all I'm thinking is, great, I'm about to have to reel all of this back in. So eventually he did stop running, and then I had about 50 yards left to reel, but at this point, this fish was dead weight. He was exhausted. So as I began to reel, it is a slow crank. It is snail's pace. This is how slow it is. I knew it would take forever, and my body was not going to last forever. I was already exhausted at this point. My back felt like it was going to break. My arms were quivering. My hands hurt so bad from gripping the rod so tightly. My body was just aching. But my dad walked over to me and he whispered, "Patience, Emily. You've got to have patience. You're so close. But one wrong move and you will lose this fish." So I had to be patient. I had to give the fish his time and just slowly reel him in. Can't rush at all. Finally, after 30 minutes probably, we got the fish close enough to the boat to where the deckhand could grab his bill and fling him up on my lap, and I got to take the picture that I had yearned for this entire year. So now I'm actually going to pass this picture around. This is a picture of me holding the fish, and the deckhand is holding his bill. His name is Salvador. He was a great deckhand, by the way. And in conclusion, I hate to say this, but my dad was right. Patience truly is a virtue. Patience won the day for me. If I didn't have patience, that fish would still be in the water and I would not have caught him. And I would not have learned anything from my experience. And I experienced the best satisfaction. So the next time you find yourself in a situation that calls for patience, I want you to think about my situation and remind yourself that good things do come to those who wait. Thanks, and Giga.